Greeting, traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? A deal! We're gonna be rich!
I have no time for games.
Inferno! You require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to another fantastic Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, we are that much closer to the weekend. Yes, you can start making your hump day jokes. But most importantly, we are here for another episode of Tavern Talk, the show where we like to make weekly hot takes and point out how bad we are at making predictions regarding the state of this game. Okay? Okay. I am, of course, your host, JR Juggalaw. I'm appearing through mobile this time around because, due to having the short-sightedness of deciding to get a new laptop right before the show. But as you can see, I'm here, I am present, and I'm here with three wonderful members of THL tonight. Of course, first of all, we've got the master of OPs, the man who is not part doctor, but is definitely part fish. Say hello to Dr. Fish.
What's going on, everybody?
And then in my other corner, of course, we've got my other co-host, the man who is part element, the man who is all battle. Say hello to Geranium Battle.
Hello, yes. now that we're getting into the last few episodes, maybe it's time for me to finally correct you. Geranium is a type of flower, not
I
yellow.
know, but no, that's part of the joke, though. The joke is that I know what you actually are, but I still want to keep making that mistake for fun.
Ah, we like it.
Okay. Oops. We should talk about this off stream. Anyways, I'm doing quite well. It's very hot everywhere right
Gosh.
now. So yeah, just living in my own sweat.
Honestly, on that, I'm gonna use that as the perfect segue because looking as hot and swagged as ever is our guest tonight. I swear, I don't think he could have picked a better look for right now. But our special guest, he is a pretty active member of THL. He has been popping off the last couple seasons. If you underestimate him, you will be punished for it. Say hello to the man who should not be referred to by his name, but we will anyway, Jester.
Yo, the Fives Brotherhood lost. I guess we'll have a good show. Just kidding. Hold up. We're going to have the best show in THL history. Let's go.
Oh, damn.
He came.
Oh my gosh,
to...
the tuxedo.
This man came to play.
Holy shit, he looks sharp.
I'm ready to have a great show. Good teams out here. Legacy, Hero, Pro. I forget the other one. No, I'm kidding. Wild. I'm ready to have a good show. Analyze all the stats and give it an awesome show.
Wait, Jester. At what point did you decide you were going to come in looking like an ESPN sportscaster?
Well, when analyzing these stats, you have to be ready for anything. So just making sure that I'm dressed for success is necessary to bringing the best guest status.
Hell out of that. Damn. None of us were ready for this. None of us were ready for this. Oh my god.
Nah, I was ready.
Was not.
I was ready.
Yeah,
I knew this. I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
You were late.
And I was just like, damn, I'm like underdressed for this. Like, do I gotta go? It's like, man, do I gotta put like my team jersey on or something? At least make myself look more presentable. Anyways, welcome to.
It was not worth the sweat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, welcome to the show, man.
This man does.
Like, obviously, welcome to the show, man. It's great to have you on. I've been eyeing having you as a guest for the last couple of seasons.
We have been talking about
man of amazing hearts, great player, and no, you really are. I think you're a fantastic player, and man of YouTube as well. As we can partially call him. So we've got a smaller show match wise. But let's not waste any time. Regardless, we are going to pop right into our first series because we're going to go in order of Wild, Pro, and then Hero and Legacy. Kind of just going to start right off with Wild. We have 2 quarterfinals matches. I forgot to get the brackets, but if you watched Heart Center last night, they have the full bracket up there. Hair Club is playing Mankrik's Revenge. I believe this match is not the determining match with who will play this next seeded player, but I'll go ahead and I will run down this match. We have Memnarch versus PCDS or Praise Chicken Drumstick. We've got Otters versus Oddlaw, White Delight versus the returning Lord Zav. We've got Concerned Mom versus Lefty 2111. We've got Burnt versus Gumby. And this is a very interesting match. Hair Club caught fire kind of at the end of the season. And
right, they did start to kind of regain. My understanding was they really started to pick up their momentum towards the end, right?
Yes. So
I think we were talking about that last week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they came into playoffs and they ended up in the I believe they ended up as the 4 seed after the dust has settled. So we got some pretty interesting matches. Record-wise, we see like Gumby and Burnt and Gumby versus Burnt having being a 3-win matchup. I don't know too much about Gumby. I know Burnt's a pretty good player in his own right. I would probably say that's even, and that the lineup might decide that. We've got Concerned Mom versus Lefty. kind of like a THL veteran versus a person who's well known in the WoW community and is a pretty good player. We've got White Delight versus Lord Zav. Zav hasn't played for many weeks now. As you see, he was 3-0 before he had to take a leave of absence from the team.
But now he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He has ongoing like medical issues and stuff that happens. So he probably took most of the season off for that. But it's great to see him back. But it's great to see him back.
A very interesting question, then, doesn't it? Because like obviously a lot has shifted in the meta since he was previously playing.
Yeah, I think he's probably been laddering and stuff, just hasn't been doing like the conquest stuff. But I'm sure his team will help him get pretty well prepared. He's going against White Delight, who's a very good player and a well-known writer for Tempo Storm. And then the 2 seed match is Otters versus Oddlaw. I think that I think this match gives Hair Club a pretty big advantage. I think Otters being the top 2 players for Hair Club are both very strong players. And I've definitely give Otters the edge here over Oddlaw. I know Oddlaw's a really good player. He and I had a pretty good series against each other a couple of weeks ago. I think that Hair Club, because of Otters and Memnarch, like I give Memnarch also a slight favor over PCDS. And I think
it is Memnarch.
Yeah, and I think that this match goes to Hair Club with Mom, Otters, and Memnarch taking it. But I could see it even being even kind of more lopsided for Hair Club. It just depends on how they prep this week.
That's the interesting thing about with Wild for sure, because prep seems to be very important. Because like with Pro, obviously, it is also open list. You're bringing in decks that your opponent's going to see. But it always feels like with Wild, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm kind of going off secondhand, what I've been told from other people. But it seems like you can't always predict as easily what's going to be brought because of the greater variety of decks that are often played in Wild.
Yes, that is definitely the case. And I did catch that on stream. I will definitely be mentioning thank you to Diamonds Dudes for the $17.91 donation. And the message read Happy Pride Month. So yes, Happy Pride Month, everybody. You see the donation goal there. Any money donated through the Streamlabs link down below, or through the link in the panels down below us, or in the About section, anywhere else. Yeah, the 2222 Canadian dollars translates to 1791 US dollars.
And remember, this also applies to any merchandise that is purchased on the THL website. Tonight is the last night to purchase. Please do yourself a favor and get the amazing THL Pride shirt. It is pink. It is beautiful. It is the exact type of attire you know that you need for your wardrobe. Don't lie to me. You know you need it.
Yes, and also congratulations to Diamonds Dudes for beating Amber Flight Gaming in a little friendly competition for Masters Tour Dalaran. But thank you also for donating as well. So yeah, Geranium.
Yeah. The merch that is available is
mild flex. I don't know what to make of that, but I approve.
The merch that's available has the amazing THL Pride logo, and there's so many different colors for it too. Yes. Like honestly, I just like looking at all the different options that were available for the Pride ones.
It was a great sale.
But moving back to the match, I'm actually extremely hyped for the 2 seed in this one, Otters versus Oddlaw. It's very hard for me to root for anyone against Otters, but Oddlaw is currently 20th in ranked legend right now. So
yeah, he's doing really well.
Just if someone was going to put a big fight against Otters, it is now.
Sure. No, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, most of these matches are pretty even, really close and really even. I mean, they're at 164 points to 161. All the records are relatively close. I mean, Otters, Oddlaw is doing pretty well right now, but I don't know. It's Otters is 7-4, so it's kind of hard. I don't want to just chicken out and say they're all going to be even. I can't determine, but I mean, honestly, and
We've
I mean,
kind of
Lord.
had- No, go ahead.
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry. No.
I'd
finish
say
what you were gonna say.
in the 3 seed, I mean, Lord Zav, I think is the name.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
3-0. He's undefeated. So I
Yeah.
mean that he might have that momentum to get that win, but in general, I think these matches are pretty even. You can go back to what you're saying.
No, I was gonna say, it's been interesting because we've kind of noticed how for both pro and for wild that even though records are obviously very relevant as far as predicting the actual match outcome, most of the matches themselves have been very close and hard to call. And even as we get to the very end of the season where we are here, it's very apparent that like with wild, you've got some really big names like facing each other and some really like even when the big names are coming in, you still got some very talented wild players coming in their own right. So it never feels like, for me at least, maybe part of that is because I'm not as familiar with the wild meta and with the with a lot of the wild only players in the same way some of you guys are.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's just very close and very hard to call, knowing just like the sheer caliber of players, even when it comes to like the bigger names versus like the lesser names.
Yeah.
Right.
And White Delight linking the EU leaderboard to show that himself is he's the rank 1 EU wild legend. So
We'll call
obviously
it a soft flex as well.
obviously congrats on that, White Delight, and hopefully you can keep that over Tiger Eye. Tiger Eye is
That's
think
pretty
I
incredible,
don't know
like,
if anyone
wow,
has
you
passed I don't know if anyone's passed him on NA ladder yet, but he's sitting at 1 on NA.
Nope.
Tiger Eye is insane. His MMR is
It's like,
huge.
Anyone knows this already.
Dude's
Yep,
MMR is huge. I
Yep.
saw Quake, like I was watching like a couple days ago, and people were getting close, but no one was getting to the one spot.
That's always just a hard task
Yeah.
to get to, though, no matter like whether it's wild, standard.
Sure.
Getting number 1 is like not easy at all. You'll hear from anybody who's like tried to do it that like they have to
Yeah.
play so many matches. It is a challenge, and plus like to actually hold that is like that's a whole other story entirely.
Yeah.
Like
Alright.
there's a part of me that's just glad that I've never been one of those people who's like laddered so much that I'm determined to like get that high. It's like, whoa, boy.
Well, thanks.
I mean, hey, when you're a lawyer, you've got enough on your plate. Just saying.
True.
Mhm. All right.
So let's. I think we should move on to the next match. then.
Yeah, I was about to do that.
So that one, I'm curious. Is that what we were going to say is going to be like the hardest match to call of the 4 playoff matches?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think
I
I think the hero matches are gonna be like pretty.
No. I'm talking about within Wild specifically.
Oh.
Because from what I'm seeing, like that's pretty.
I think
close.
I think
That's a
this
pretty
one.
tough
I think
call.
I think this one. I think this next one is the closest match.
Okay.
Even though the points don't necessarily show it.
Interesting.
It's 'cause-
What?
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got here?
We have no Fin
I think the
Sapas
3 and the
versus
4 are
Pog
incredibly
Merchants.
close here.
Oh,
But
that's
the
right,
reason
yes.
the reasoning is that Pog Merchants got like not a lot of points last week. They had a sub of a sub, aka me, get swept in the 1 seed. I got
You
swept.
should
I
throw
got
yourself
swept.
under the bus.
I mean it's true. I got swept by Slod. I e-subbed for Based.
Slot is pretty
I
good,
very
yeah.
much appreciate the opportunity that Diamond gave me to play a match, and then they had 2s played in the 2 seed.
Was
so
Slot
Patience.
originally on F12 Viridian at one point, or am I mistaken?
No, Slod was never on Viridian.
No, he was on Anoia team.
He was I think they're still on a Noyo team. He's still there. As far as I remember, because it was us versus Anoyo. It was Pog Merchants versus Anoyo. But anyways, I was gonna say we have No Finkasapas versus Pog Merchants, super close match. Geranium, you want to go ahead and give the match rundown?
Yeah, I mean, going down the list, we've got Noah H versus Pace, Yo Daddy versus Tom Carter, Quicklore versus Maxibon, Seth for Christ versus An Awful Artist, and Glare versus Lasagna. And looking at just the player quality is insane on both sides. Quakelord is number 2
Yes.
on ranked legend right now. Maxibon on the other hand, though, recently just got second in a very large community tournament in Wild. Seth for Christ, I believe, was number. Oh no, I just lost it.
He's pretty good on
he was
ladder.
top 20 as well.
Damn.
And then Lasagna's is 26. So they're all just absolutely killing ladder right now, and then on top of that, we got the decks in for No Way H versus Pace.
Yeah.
So No Way H is bringing an LPG mage,
Reno Secret,
a Reno mage,
Right.
bringing a Reno priest, an odd warrior, with running Doctor Boom Mad Genius, something that's not run as often
it's
now
pretty,
in
it's
an
pretty
odd warrior.
It's pretty common in a warrior, from what I remember.
It's it's getting more phased out, is what I've been hearing, and also a Dark Glare Warlock. And then meanwhile, Pace.
Warlock.
Notably he's running Zephyrus, and he's running things like Emerald Reaver. There's quite a few different ways you can build the deck.
Well, wait, is it not the Highlander deck?
No, that's just Dark Glare. You just draw your entire
No.
deck.
I was gonna say I had heard about Zephyrs being played in Dark Glare, right? Because they draw through so much so quickly.
Yeah,
that's kind of absurd.
It's pretty cool.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Pace is running a hand buff paladin, an odd rogue, something that I haven't seen in a while. Another Dark Glare Warlock. This one not with Zephyrus.
Yeah.
And then a pirate warrior. So a much more aggressive lineup. That's what Pace is known for.
And buff paladin though. That
yeah,
I'm really
excited
by.
This glare is a lot lower to the ground. It's running the Arcane Golem. There's kind of been a few different cards that have been kind of seen as almost like a charge finisher, but which generally goes between Arcane Golem and Boar. Some decks have been running Stone Tusk Boar as like a really cheap combo. You go like Boar, Tamsin, Power Overwhelmings, and you can just deal a lot of damage from
Boar, Tamsin, Power. Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean
Right.
It's really.
And Tamsin was the 3-drop faceless, right?
It
copies
copies
the
shadow
spell you play and makes it 0.
Oh, right.
So you can play like 4 Power Overwhelmings in one turn.
Right.
That's a big
shadow
win.
spell, right.
That's a big win condition for Glare.
That's
Giants is like getting Giants by turn 3 or 4, and then you Tamsin Power.
That deck
Overwhelm.
just keeps finding new ways to be annoying, doesn't it?
It's the best. It's the best deck. And as far as I know, and this is like a very aggro lineup. No Way has a very good lineup to deal with Pace. Honestly, I might actually favor No Way in this match because of that. His Odd Warrior is gonna have a pretty nice time against these decks. So pending that it's not banned, he's a very good Odd Warrior player. But anyway, we've got 4 more matches on the list.
I will say that I am rooting for both teams though, as Pace and Seth have both been on Tavern Talk in the past. It's nice to root for someone that I've personally talked to.
Yeah, it's hard to pick favorites as a result, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, we've got, and then Diamond as well, the captain for the Pog Merchants. So both captains even have been on.
Yeah. I'm super hyped for this match. I'm very torn on some of the matchups. I think Noe and Pace is interesting. I could see it going either way. I might favor towards Noe. Yo Daddy versus Tom Carter. Yo Daddy has been on a tear. He's coming in with pretty big momentum. I believe he's either got 3 or 4 weeks in a row winning. Quakelord versus Maxi. That's a toss-up match. I've been talking with Quakelord lately about Wild and stuff, and he said that he's beaten Maxi the last couple of times they've played in series play, so he feels pretty good about it. Seth and Artist. I feel like that's a toss up in Glare versus Lasagna. Both players I feel are pretty good. Lasagna's just nutty. But he's playing it in on America's server when Lasagna is from EU, so he has not as much of a card collection. But still very strong. He's come in and won the last couple of weeks, which gives some good momentum going into this. So I will pick Lasagna to win there. I think overall NoFin Can Stop Us ends up taking the week. But I couldn't tell you exactly who gets the wins. I guess I would say it would be No Way. It would probably come from No Way and YoDaddy, and then either Quakelord or Seth taking it.
This is incredibly close. I think this could tie. I mean, tiebreakers. It just goes to literal who won the most matches throughout the series. But I think the score is going to look very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It all
we've only
depends
had a
depends on
handful
play
of
order.
situations where a team won only 2 matches but got more points than the opposing team. So it's like,
Sure.
it's relevant, but it's one of those things where only occasionally does it actually come into play.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, my knowledge of Wild is pretty minuscule compared to you guys. Barely play Wild,
Same.
so I can't contribute much to the conversation.
Hey.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah, standard club.
Santa
But
Club for life.
I mean, just hearing it off of what you guys are saying, I mean, these are a lot of like top players, like top 50,
They
top
are.
20. I mean, when you only have like 100 people playing Wild, it's no. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding.
There's-
I'm kidding. No,
Why-
but in
why-
all seriousness,
Canceled Jester.
it's a joke. It's a joke. But in all seriousness, like these are really good players, and to be up there is and to have that many players in THL, especially in Wild, at that top of a level, it makes it very interesting to see that. And I'm very excited for these matches, even though I don't know much about Wild. It'll be interesting to watch.
I mean, it's now we're kind of at the point. I will just say now we're kind of at the point where, Wild has been going on for a few seasons now, so it's like, even if you're not very familiar with Wild, if you've been following the Wild series long enough, you do get kind of a sense of who are some of the more well-known players, which are some of the teams that have had the most impact on the series as a whole. Because like then you kind of look and you go, okay, you've got like Everyone's a Winner, F2L Viridian, a Noyo teams that have like continuously had a pretty major impact and continue to do so. Even like 3 seasons in.
Yeah. And it's great to see, Wild growing, and I'm sure we're gonna have even more, like, super strong teams coming in the next seasons, hopefully.
That is the hope.
It's like there is potential even for like expansion to like having a Europe-based Wild series potential.
Well,
I don't know for sure.
It's complicated because then that kind of goes into how might that affect standard as well. We kind of have to see what happens.
I mean, that's up to the board team and everything. I shouldn't really be bringing it. I shouldn't really be bringing it up. But
let's move on to the next match, shall we?
But yeah, so that's it for Wild Series. Now we're gonna move on to Pro Series, and we're gonna go into our first finals match.
Right, because it's only 2 matches. My apologies. That's right. So the teams that have buys, right, are Everyone's a Winner and F12 Viridian, right?
Yeah, F12 Viridian and Everyone's a Winner has a buy. Really, NoFin Can Stop Us and Pod Merchants determines who the winner of the other match will be playing. If NoFin wins, then they'll be playing Everyone's a Winner. If Pod Merchants wins, then they'll be playing F2L.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that's how it's gonna work.
It's highest seeded team left plays Everyone's a Winner, and lowest seeded team plays F12 Viridian.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so now we have entered finals for Pro Series. We have 2 teams left remaining. Wash Tappers and Hyperonzen, and Jester, take me through this match.
Yeah, so this is the finals, correct? Yeah, this is finals. So we have Hyperonzen, Wash Tappers. I mean, just making sure.
Yeah, this is.
But
finals.
yeah, Hyperonzen's been doing absolutely insane this season. But I mean, Wash Tappers, like this is a very, very interesting match. We have Liquidox versus MMW, McBanterface versus Ufric or Ofric.
Yeah, Ufric.
Gamer Ravager versus Valdis. Cool Kid 2001 versus. Somebody help me out with this one.
C-Mac.
C-Mac.
C-Mac, D-Money versus Heat Shock.
C-Mac Jester.
Listen, it's the pronunciation. I know most people, but the
But
pronunciation.
you know C-Mac's in the chat, and he's gonna judge you. And if he's not judging you, I'm
Yeah.
judging you.
C-Mac judges, yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
There's 5 silent letters. It's a little
Yeah,
hard.
it's pretty hard, actually.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and going through this like top to bottom, I mean, Liquid Ox might just bring the same thing as last week. We really don't know, but he has been doing good with it, 10-0. But I mean, against MMW,
Unreal.
I feel like in the 1 and 2 seed, either Liquid Ox or McManterface is gonna lose here. I doubt they'll both win this because I mean, MMW and Ofric is 9-1, and and they're not a force to be reckoned with. I mean, they're good players as well, not just their record, but they're good players. So I am very interested to see these. I'd love to see them on stream if they were, but
Yeah, well,
and then you got
maybe.
yeah, go ahead.
No, maybe. We'll find out later.
And then, but if I had to give it to someone, I'd say Liquid Ox takes it. Ofric, Gamer Ravager's pretty good. I'm gonna give it to
that's
Cool
nice.
Kid and then Heat Shock.
So,
yeah.
Hyperonzen.
Heat Shock's really
It's
good.
very hard to bet against Heat Shock. That's pretty fair.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dimo's
it-
he's a good player, but he's been having a rough season. But
Yeah, he is.
I think Heat Shock.
I think he's kind of taking it really relaxed. Like,
Yes,
I think
yes,
Z-Money definitely has the quality. He's just like, hasn't been taking it as
Yeah,
seriously
he
for
recently
weeks.
made a tweet about how
Um,
like he had been streaming continuously. I think for like the last year or so, and he finally gave himself like a day
Oh,
off.
it was like 500,
He's
600
dedicated.
days. It was like 2 years. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
my match was D-Money and Pro was an Oz match. So that says a lot about how, how serious we're taking.
Maybe,
He brought up first, though. He brought up.
maybe just maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for this because like there's some pretty good storylines here, regardless. Because obviously with the Wash Tappers, you've got a team that the Washu Mishas a few seasons ago, 2 seasons ago actually, when Hyperonzen first came in, they made it to the semifinals, and they were having a really good run, but unfortunately lost to the semifinals. And then after that, the 2 seasons after that, they like really struggled. They really struggled to. Sorry, 3 seasons ago. Yes, the 2 seasons after that, they really kind of struggled. First, they like basically changed up the roster a little bit and didn't perform. And then they tried doing the Wash Tappers formula last season, and it didn't quite work out. Like they were close. They were close to. I think they came in 5th place in their conference, but they didn't quite make playoffs. They fell a bit short. And now here they are in a much more dominant position than they've ever been before. And I could definitely see both of these teams winning. If I had to really choose, I think I'm going to give it to Hyperonzen because, like, you've got Hyperonzen as a team that obviously they've been extremely consistent. They won. This is their 3rd season. They won the 1st season. They came and they lost to the champions in the semifinals last season, and here they are back in the finals again. They just feel like one of the most prominent and powerful teams we've ever seen in pro. Right up there with F2L, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're a good team to bet your money on, for lack of a better term.
This is definitely like if anything can get on stream, I really want all of these matches to get on stream. Watching
Agreed.
the back-to-back Hyperonzen versus Sheepies
Yeah.
last week, super high quality. And I honestly just kind of want to see what Valdis brings this week because he's been bringing a lot of spicy lineups. Last week he brought 4 decks that were all very weird iterations of different classes. So just to see like his creative take, and then to see D-Money's creative take as well. Honestly, I think Hyperonzen's chances are that D-Money doesn't even play and they just win 3 of the matches. But Wash Tappers, I really want that merch.
Yeah, that is pretty likely to happen in
Ooh,
my opinion.
yeah.
But we'll
That's
see.
spicy.
Impress us.
So,
Yeah.
one thing that Wash Tappers has going for them as a team is they're very good at they're a team that likes to play for counters. They like to play for counter lineups, which is predominant thing I've noticed throughout the weeks. I think I watched like MMW versus Fogiate, and MMW very clearly brought a target Priest lineup, and it did result in his only loss. But Priest is very difficult to target in a 4-deck format. So
It feels like targeting in general this meta has been very difficult. It feels like it's been like, some strategies have backfired in a lot of respects, like not just with Priest,
sure,
but just with like other decks like Warrior, or Demon Hunter, whatever you're trying to target. It feels like people have been succeeding more because they've just kind of brought lineups and had more of a plan as far as what they want to make sure they ban versus what they want to target.
I mean,
but
I think that's pretty fair.
I think that Wash Tappers can really give Hyperonzen a hard time with how they build their lineups.
Yes.
And especially if Hyperonzen, because they're a team that's pretty known to roll over. It would be really unfortunate if they decided to do that doing that in the finals of Pro Series. It would be quite interesting. But they are strong enough players to just kind of, they could probably do it and even possibly win. It's gonna be a bit of a chess match. And I'm really interested to see Ufric and New America's
New GM.
Future America's GM McBannerface. Well, he is. He's gonna be one.
No, I know. I mean, I'm excited. I'm very glad that all three of the team, as of this time. I mean, we'll get into it another time, but I think unless the issue regarding one of the GMs, I think there's a possible issue with some Master Store competitor potentially being eligible for NAGM. I think I heard something about that, but I could be wrong.
I have no clue.
But if the current statistics are correct, all three of the new North American GMs, as we said last week, would be THL representatives, and that would be fantastic.
Potentially. It would be pretty cool. Yeah, so the other guy is confirmed APAC. Is what Bryce Bull has said. So I guess that leaves the spot open for Egg. That leaves the spot open. I don't know whoever's gonna get it, but yeah, congrats to all of them. Back to
supposed to be McBannerface, Tails, Luna, and Ego Waffle.
Yeah. But yeah, so. I'm very interested about like CMAC versus Cool Kid. I think that's a very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I think those bottom two matchups in the MMW Liquid Ox matchup are going to be very interesting because I think. And I think that I think that Bannerface is going to come to play, and it'll be a great match. But
it's finals. I'm expecting.
It's difficult. It's difficult to like call who's gonna win the matches.
Right.
And I wouldn't be upset at either team winning. I just want to see some good Hearthstone. Just to kind of go against the grain. I want to see Wash Tappers merch. I think I would love to see them win. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hyperonzen ends up taking the season either.
The two big questions that I have regarding this entire series are simply who's going to win, and also will Ox get that 11-0 finish that he probably wants.
True.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I think MMW can take him down, but
he has a chance. He has a chance.
But it is Liquid Ox.
No, Ox is a great player.
So we're gonna move on from Pro very soon, but
we're gonna go to the commercial.
I just want to give my hot take on this. It may be an unpopular opinion, but I think that Wash Tappers is going to make it. I think that MMW this week stands for Make Merch Washable.
Pog.
I
don't know how to react to that, honestly. That's a hot take, but it might be like a mild.
Mild take. Yeah.
Like Wash Tappers winning.
Hyperonzen gets hyped every single.
No, I mean I just think Wash Tappers winning, I would be surprised, but not that surprised because it's like, I think the only reason that like it would be any kind of surprise right now is because these are all really strong players that just happen to be they've struggled the last 2 to 3 seasons to they've struggled the last 2 seasons to make it back into their former glory. But like again, 3 seasons ago, all of these players were killing it. You know, that was
Yeah.
part of what ultimately motivated them to like combine their teams, and we got the combination between Washu Mishas and Tap Blast.
It's really interesting because it's only one Tap
Yeah.
Blast. It's literally only one Tap Blast person on the
I
entire
know,
team.
I know, but you know, it's like
It's pretty much Washu,
now you-
but they added C-Max.
Peach, I'm the lawyer here. I'm the one
I
who's supposed to
know,
get
I know
technical
you
like that.
are, sir. I know. Yeah. But
I'm just being a
anyways,
jerk now.
we're gonna take a quick break here to give some information about THL for those who may be new. Take it away, Geranium.
Yes, of course.
Who's got the timer going?
Thank you very much for tuning. Okay.
Reset.
I'll restart. Get the timer set back up,
Uh,
and timer in 3. Thank you so much for tuning into Tavern Dog. If you're an Eichel tournament series on Mondays and Ronnie Tuesday on Hero Center, and someday that you will never guess. Are you still asking, where's my content? We stream THL matches each night from Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. Opening match goes are determined by cast and player availability. Side effects may include knowledge and fun. Wait, that's not all. We also have incredible matches on weekend afternoons on school sim, protest times today, there's sub to availability. And for Pride Month, THL has undergone a mini makeover. The Evertown with the 2-star Mako has redesigned a beautiful rainbow logo that you will see popping up all over THL. You may even see it in the THL Twitch chat. Speaking of which, please consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating a website and improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. And I see someone asking in our chat, what is Twitch Prime?
yeah, that was
Yep.
me. Yeah,
That's definitely what I asked.
that was me. I have a question. I know.
Okay. Oh. Speaking of which, please consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. This subscription enables THL teams to help cover the various costs of operating a website and improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. And see something, I already said that. Well, if you have Amazon Prime or Prime Gaming, sub to the channel for free. Another great reason to support THL is going to a great cause. All proceeds from subs-based donations and merchandise are going to the Trevor match like this much. So hit that heart button and hit key notifications on to make sure you catch our streams live. We appreciate each every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other points of interest. Website is at teamhearthlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join the Discord, Team Hearth Legends, and the THL PW podcast is wherever podcasts are sold. Sorry, I had to finish that in time. Set the timer at the lowest time possible. What was your question, Jester?
Oh no, it was part of the. I didn't know what a Twitch Prime. You explained it for me.
Okay.
I had 1 minute 21 seconds for the record.
All right. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. And now back to the good stuff. We've got Hero Series quarterfinals.
All right. So we got 2 matches we're covering for Hero, though.
Yes, we're covering the 2 matches for Hero, starting with Dad Legend versus Wherever I May Roam. And hey, look, we have a few classes up here.
Well, Fish, before we forget, we should mention it now, out of curiosity, so just in case the people are wondering, who are the 2 teams that have the buys for this week?
The 2 bye week teams. Well, No Pros here locked up their bye week.
Yeah, they did.
Locked up their bye week prior to last week, and the other bye team is Blast.
Yep.
So
That's what I thought.
I heard
So Blast was able to
the
secure the bye
rebranding
week.
as last.
Well, I mean that could be
Maybe.
So we'll see.
I feel like it needs to be emphasized though that like Hero Series was a fight for playoffs.
It was, yeah. None of these all these matches are close. I'm very we got this one up on the screen here. JR, why don't you talk about Dad Legend versus Wherever I May Roam?
Hold on a second because I'm on mobile, so I don't know if I can
Oh,
have my.
that's fine.
Let me see.
I can.
Oh, well, tell me the matchups and I'll
Yeah.
go from there.
So Dad Legend versus Wherever I May Roam, 1 seed match. Isocles versus Ron Mexico.
Yes, I do remember this. Oh God, that is going to be so hyped just because those 2. What we need from that is that needs to be on stream, and those 2 need to be on voice chat talking as that match is going on.
Yeah, that would take away. That would be really distracting for the casters, but yeah, that'd be fun.
It would be so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
If it's not gonna be on
For
stream,
sure. Anyways, next match we have 2 seeds. 2 seed match Starlax versus the Big Ted.
Oh yeah.
We've got 3 seed match Corridon versus Dome Day. 4 seed
Cordet.
match Risen versus Anfall, and then 5 seed match Yellow Dart versus Roadrunner.
How was Yellow Dart a 5 seed? This just makes no
PR
sense.
management, I guess. This is like this is like 1/550 and everyone else is 300. I mean, this is like the opposite of what my team did, where we had everybody in like the 400s and 150. They have 1/550 and everyone else is in the 300s. And Yellow Dart is 290, and then Yellow Dart is 295. But yes, he's cheating in the 5s. He can't attest to it. I got absolutely demolished
I'll
by
look for
him.
any excuse to give Yellow Dart a hard time.
Yeah,
Purely out of love.
Dart has built a great team here, but also Donde has built a great team as well.
It's two very different kinds of rosters, though, because like
it's crazy to me that that. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I was just going to mention that Corden and Anfal are just facing each other in two different series right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're both on opposite teams
Mm-hmm.
in Legend and in Hero. It's just that Corden's one seed above in Hero.
Oh my god. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that match is going to be, I think,
Yeah.
arguably the closest match of them all. Personally, I'm going to say that now.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be an interesting set of matches here. It's so interesting because like I look at this and I really respect Roadrunner as a player. I had a really great series with him. But it's a bit, it almost feels unfair to have Yellow Dart as the 5 seed for Dad Legend. He did lose a couple of times this season. But he went 8-3 and Roadrunner went 2-9. So opposite records, and I think because of that, it's gonna come down to number one, when their match is played within the series, and number two, if Wherever I May Roam can get wins from the other players on their team, because I think Yellow Dart will be favored and probably will win. Risen versus Anfal. Anfal's having an incredible hero season. Him and Ron pulled off some really clutch wins for this team to even make playoffs. So I think Anfal will win over Risen. Corden and Donde there are updated results, says Donde. I didn't know that. So let's take a look at the results, and that way we can make further better predictions. I'm waiting for it to load. Oh, Donde has swept Corden. So Wherever I May Roam is out. So we got
That's pretty big.
So this changes the complexion a little bit, where I still think that the same thing applies. Where I still think that I think Yellow Dart is favored in the 5, but I was gonna say Corden versus Donde is very close. But Donde getting a sweep. Congratulations to Donde on that. So we've got Ted versus. So the other one's Ted versus Starlax and Ron versus Isocles. And it's very interesting. We have one of those. I obviously definitely figured that. Sweeps are generally close matches. I've been a part of sweeps that weren't very close and they don't feel good. But getting swept in general doesn't feel good. But anyway, Ted versus
in Hero.
No, in general.
Ted versus Starlax. That's actually going to be on stream tomorrow night. I'm very excited for that match. Ted's return to Hero has been fantastic. 7-3. Him and Donde switched seeds during the season.
Yeah.
So both of them extremely strong players could easily hold it down in both seeds. So that's really good. And Ron versus Isocles. Last time I saw them play, I think Isocles did really well against Ron, but both of them have had outstanding seasons, and so that's gonna be the one that I think might end up. I mean, that could end up being a deciding factor if because Risen and Anfal is close, even though I would say I think Anfal will take it in the end, but I don't think it's gonna be that close. But the points being 4-0 to start for Wherever I May Roam, great start for the team.
I think the 2 seed's going to be the deciding match, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I think that match is genuinely the hardest to call because it can go either way.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that like Risen versus Anfall, I think it's like really close. I think like, but you could certainly also argue that even though Risen's had like a rough couple seasons, he's definitely like someone who's handled his own in the 1 and 2 pretty highly.
Yeah.
Whereas Anfall's generally played in 3 and 4, so maybe that gives Risen a bit of an edge. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I feel like the 2 seed, it's like you've got Starlax, who is very seasoned in like the 2 seed, but his PR might not necessarily indicate that, versus Ted, who's obviously been on quite a roll this season. So I feel like it's a really hard call as far as who's more likely to win that one.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I'll make the calls then. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, if I were to,
I think Rome gets there.
I mean,
I'm
at
thinking.
first I was thinking Dad Legend had it, but now we're seeing Donde win the 3-0. Now I'm leaning towards wherever I may roam. I mean, I went with Dad Legend just because of the record and the points and looking at all the records and analyzing all that. But I mean, now Yellow Dart should take it. I think Onfall has it. Donde won. Yeah, the 2 and the 1 seed is the determining factor in this. The Big Ted does have a little bit of momentum, so he might be able to pull through a little higher PR advantage, but the Big Ted might be able to pull through, and then Isocles and Ron, it's... You know what? I have a coin here, and for moments like these where it's a coin flip,
flip it.
Isocles is heads, Ron is tails.
I don't know, Jester. This is a little sus.
Show me.
It is heads.
All right, so Isocles
It's
wins.
a very questy coin, but Isocles will win, which does not change anything, and that was a waste of our time. All right,
Let's go.
Whoops.
Never a waste of time. All right.
No,
So
that's
yeah.
the score. Fine.
But I will mostly agree with Jesse here, though, that I think Donde winning it does kind of decide things. I think that Anfall has a very good chance against Risen, and then I think between the 1 and the 2, if they just pick up one win or even just enough points, because Donde sweeping is just so tilting with the scores. I think they have a very high chance of making it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest though. I would have bet for sure that Donde was going to win anyway. Like I knew there was a good chance that Cordad might have pulled an upset there, but I was definitely leaning towards Donde already. So I would say I was already probably leaning towards wherever I may roam either way. At this point.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
It's going to be close.
for
I
sure.
firmly believe it's going to be close either way because
Yeah.
that's how these matches tend to go in Hero playoffs. You know.
Yeah. We've seen a bunch of us calling upset for this first match, but we have one more to talk about, and that is 1337 squad versus Dabs on him. And I will mention that the last match is the match that will determine which team that this matchup
right.
winners gets to go against. We've got 1337 squad versus Dabs on him, and Geranium. Why don't you go through this match?
Well, we got Turtle versus Based Inc. Molestar versus Nails in the 2. By the way, I just want to point out Turtle and Molestar have the same PR. So the fact that Turtle's in the 1 and Molestar is the 2 is very cheatsy.
It comes down.
But,
it literally came down to the decimals for this.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But I had the perfect response for that. Oh, that's master.
It is extremely well PR managed. Then we got C-Mac versus Seth for Christ, 9 Eyebrows versus Diamond, and Skirt Reynolds versus Booze. And the Booze don't lose, but we also got Skirt Reynolds. So I think the 5 seed is super stacked. And Based was looking for a more emergency-ish sub for the 2 to replace, and got Nails to fight Molestar. I mean, I was
Nails not
Molestar would
Nails not being
okay.
550 PR coming in super clutch.
That's ridiculous.
Yikes.
Yeah, Nails had a rough season
Yeah.
last season for what I remember.
Fraud.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What
Anyways.
the heck?
Astrofrog replaced by Nails.
Yeah.
Volstar was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna face
My
Astrofrog.
God.
I mean,
Fine.
I would have been scared of either player, but
Yeah, no, absolutely fair. But like,
Astro went
Astrofrog
9
is
and
really
he
good.
went 7 and I think he went like 7 and 4
He had
this
a
season.
damn great season. But
So
Oh, he was doing well.
yeah, but going from Astral to Nails, like it's I see a slight
oh
step up.
my.
Like I feel like Astral is just getting better and
Step
better
up.
and better. Like Nails is insane, but like I don't know. I feel like it's LHS is kind of nuts right now. Anyways, yeah. I think this is an interesting series. I'm gonna talk less about the series to let Jester and Geranium kind of do a lot of the talking, but interesting match. I think I'm most interested in 9 versus Diamond. Diamond's been on a roll, getting a bunch of sweeps. All his wins are sweeps this season. And then I think Based versus Turtle.
I gotta say, how cool would it be if Diamond managed to, after getting 2 championships last season, getting a championship in a different series that he didn't get a championship in last season, so he'd be able to say he's won in 3 series in 2 seasons. That'd be pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah. And it also marks next season will mark the 10-year anniversary of his first championship.
That is also
so
true.
that's
Yes.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think this is a good matchup in general. I would have to take a lot of time to actually consider who would win this.
I mean, it's Hero this season was like just like with Wild. You know, you had a lot of matches going on, so it was very kind of hard to gauge. But Wild was pretty close in its own right, but Hero was even closer. You know, Hero, we got to the very end where like teams were like, I think there was a comment somebody made about how the difference between like 4th place and 6th place was 4th place and like 9th place was like 6 points. We discussed last week how like last week was going to dictate a lot. It was anybody's game for a majority of the teams that were still in it. Not my team, of course, because
my team too.
we can't
But
have it
that's
all.
Yeah, and I mean, it was so cutthroat that wherever I may roam, the team that we think
they won on a triple tiebreak.
might beat Dad's Legend was tied
Yep.
with 2 other teams going into the
Yeah,
finals. They were the
that
bottom
was
team.
like-
But anyways, actually talking about this match here, we've got 1337 squad has CMAC and 9. They are the back-to-backs. I still think they will have this back-to-back-to-back opportunity. I really think so after this week.
That would be
But
a first.
they do have to, like, Turtle had a big momentum shift in his match versus Ron Mexico. He was on a 3-0 tear, just winning match after match after match, and then he faced Ron Mexico and was up 2-0 and then went down 2-3. So I think it could be that's the momentum shift that tips it all the way for him to not win against Based Inc. But Turtle, since the Turtle card has been released, has been so reliably good in Hero, and yeah. Also, forgot to mention CMAC versus Seth. The decks are out, not on stream, but I will quick read them out. CMAC is bringing Druid, Priest, Rogue, Warrior, and Seth is bringing Demon Hunter, Priest, Shaman, and Warrior. So Rogue, very interested in CMAC's lineup, and then Demon Hunter, very interested in Seth's.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting series.
Yeah,
that's very similar to what I've been bringing, what I brought for my last 2 weeks Seth's lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out against that specific class set, because that doesn't look like a banned Priest lineup. That looks like a banned Druid lineup, at least to me. But obviously, I'm not the one who's playing it, and I'm not the one who's banning. So everything I say is not what will actually happen. I will disclaimer that.
That is a heavy possibility, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you shouldn't. The players should not just listen to what we say and be like,
Don't worry. Obviously,
Yeah.
I have no clue what's going on. I'm not anywhere in a dabs on them server or anything. No,
Right.
I was just speaking from my personal experience.
Right.
Anyways, yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah, but in my opinion, personally, I think Dabs on him just takes it home. Like I
Mhm.
think Base takes it. Nails top 50 right now. I don't think he's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, Molstar. I'm saying it wrong. Molstar is pretty good at the game. I saw him in ladder once at pretty high rank, but that was about a month ago. I don't know where he's just now, but Nails is pretty good. Turn 0. Don't know what he's gonna do, but I think he's gonna take that win. Seth for Christ and C-Mac as kind of coin flip. I think C-Mac takes it home. And then Diamond 9 eyebrows. That's gonna be interesting. But Buse don't lose, baby. So I think
My boy
that's on him
Buse.
takes it home.
Yeah.
By the way, I also want to mention before we move on that 9 eyebrows versus Diamond is actually team killing in a way, because Diamond runs a little esports org
Diamond
called
Dudes.
Diamond's Dudes, and 9 eyebrows
One of the content
is Diamond's Dudes, and 9 eyebrows is one of his players.
no.
So we'll see if there's a
Diamond had his own
new
org.
hierarchy
That
established
makes a
here.
lot of sense. I believe it.
Yeah.
That
Um,
that definitely makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna mostly agree with Jester here. I'm just gonna say that I think Skirt is gonna take it over Buse. Even though Buse is having a great season, I think Skirt is having an even better one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Skirt had a pretty good opening season, but definitely started to pick things up this season. So very happy for the guy.
Yeah.
So that covers Hero.
Yep.
Like we said, No Pros here and Blast are the two teams with buys. So next week we'll be talking about the proper semifinals for both Wild and Hero, going into the last 2 matches. So the next 2 weeks is basically just going to be talking about Wild and Hero.
Yeah.
Since Legacy and Pro will be over after this.
So yeah, next week though, we will have the Legacy champion team on, as many players as are able to make it. I'll be getting in contact with the team whenever the results are decided. I'll get in contact with them by Sunday. After the last match. If it's Sunday, then it'll be probably Monday. But otherwise, yeah. So look forward to that. We're gonna have an interview with the Legacy champions, and then we'll have the second half to talk about semifinals for both series.
But now we've got arguably the most hyped match.
Now to move on to the series where we've all been eliminated.
In
Yeah.
various ways, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all out of it. But of course, we are talking about the Legacy finals. Now, for the record, I want to say I called both of the semifinals matches correctly, and I ended up putting myself on the back for that. But I did also say last week that I felt like regardless of which teams won each match, we were going to have ourselves a pretty epic storyline for the finals, and I still think that holds true. Because right now we've got ourselves, of course, the Standard THL Degenerates, or STD, versus the Hot Zelfs, or Zephyros. Wait. Damn it, I'm forgetting what it stands for.
Zephyrus is lethal for sure.
Zephyrus,
Get him off, boo.
Anyways.
Get out.
So yeah.
God. Donde's gonna kill me when he finds out I messed that up.
Donde was in the chat here. He was the one who informed me of the results.
I think I saw that briefly.
So yeah.
But so we were saying last week though. So Standard THL Degenerates are obviously they play they're made up of a bunch of pretty familiar players. They did make a pretty good run last season, but this time around they're topping that. They're in the finals. They are so close to winning it for the entire series. And then in the other corner, as I said, we have the Zilfs, who are a team that have been pretty consistently successful within Legacy, and they haven't had many roster changes over the course of the past couple of years where they've been involved.
They've had one, yeah.
They've had one main change, which was switching out Bobson for Jammies. But all the 4 other players have been on the team. These guys have been pretty dedicated, and I give a lot of props to them for that because they're a great group of players, and I think it's cool that they've stuck together for as long as they have. Yeah. But as I said last week, this is their first time making it to a Legacy finals. They have made the semifinals multiple times, but this is their first time actually making it to the finals, and that's pretty big. You know, this is a team that I can. Both of these teams, honestly, at this point, they absolutely deserve the championship if they win it. Much like with Pro, I'm going to be very happy with whoever wins this one. It's been a great season to watch, and I think that's a great storyline regardless of who wins, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, let's run through the matches. Jester, why don't you do the honors and go through the individual matchups?
Yep, so we got Hot Zilfs versus Standard THL Degenerates, the team that took me out. Great, yeah. Coles versus Mr. Python, Jammies versus Automated Button, Donde versus Electric Sheep City, Onfall versus Corridon or Corridad, Jim Follows versus Quaz. I mean, I'm very, very, very biased. I want the team that defeated me to win, right? But no, honestly, these are two great storylines, two great teams, and you know, like we want both teams to win. Obviously, we don't live in that world, but one team has to go down. In my opinion, Quaz is just insane in the 5 seed. He takes it home. Jim Follows is 4-4 and very good player, has a chance to win it, but I don't know. Quaz is a force to be reckoned with. So he's really gonna have to pull some miracle. He's gonna have to pull some miracle and not Rogue. But all right, Onfall versus Corridon. I mean, it's kind of half and half. Onfall did bring Hunter, which is a question to bring, but in my opinion, I feel like Rogue is a weak bring in Legacy. In my opinion, I think that the Rogue has a kind of weak versus the Warrior into the Priest. If they bring Lucia, that just wins the game unless they don't draw it. Hunter has a good time dealing with Rogue, and Rogue with the Druid is gonna be tough for Corridon to get through. So. Even if he does man priest or warrior, he still has really bad matchups with Rogue. So it's still 60-40, but I'm intrigued to see what turns out during that match. I'm gonna say Sheep takes it home. You know, I did beat him last week, but I want him to have a good. You know, when he was very insane opponent, by the way. I messaged him after, like he was playing crazy. There was one game where he played Hunter, and I can't remember what he did. But he kept hero powering every turn. But anyways, he played amazingly. Messaged him after, great player. I think is gonna win it. Donde is still amazing. He's great. But I think Sheep is gonna take it home. Button and Jammies, I really don't know. Button is really good. Jammies is also good. That one's a tough call. These are all tough calls. It's gonna be a good match.
Right.
But yeah, and then one seed out. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Maybe Coles. I'm rooting for the STVs, but I really, really, really don't know.
Okay. So we got Hot Zilfs and Standard THL Degenerates, the team that beat me. Well, I think I gotta root for the guys that beat my team.
So that would be Zilf.
Yeah, actually.
Oh no,
though,
yeah,
I
for
think-
you
I
two.
think
Sorry,
we're
you
gonna
also
Standard
lost to
THL
Standard.
Degenerates.
You also lost to
Whoa,
STD, yeah.
whoa! It was.
Did you lose to Zilfs in the regular season? I don't know.
We did also lose to Zilfs. Now we made sure we lost to both. So either way, we're coming out on top. But Standard THL Degenerates, I think Mr. Python is so good, like across the board in THL. I think he is in the prime of his Hearthstone career here in THL. And speaking of Prime, we've got Twitch Prime available. If you have Twitch Prime available, you can click the purple button that's below the stream. You can click the little button that says subscribe for free.
Man, get that.
And you can.
Are you for real, man?
No.
It takes about 5 seconds.
No.
Advertising.
Let's
go.
You could.
I can't believe this is happening for the record.
I love
You can
it.
check right now. If it says subscribe free, then you can click that and you get a free subscription. Take that money away from Dr. Bezos. Anyways, now going back down the line, Quaz in the 5 seed here has 8 wins, and if Quaz wins, we actually have Quaz locks in the MVP position. There are 4 people that are on 8 match wins, and if Quaz wins it, he locks it up. It's now based on match wins.
No. Playoffs don't count.
Based on
Matches don't count.
Playoffs don't count.
Okay, fine then.
Yeah, no,
Never
playoffs
mind, he
don't.
can't
Yeah,
win
my record
MVP.
would be great.
Sorry, Quaz.
Well, MVP and number 1 in PPR doesn't correlate.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fine then. I know exactly what I'm saying.
I have no.
Yeah,
I would love to see Quas like end up.
I predicted neither of these teams to win, unlike JR. So, but yeah, I do think Standard TGL Degenerates has the team quality to bring it home. I think Button, even though he is 4-5, he didn't play last week. I think he is going to win when he plays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close. It's
too close.
I don't feel comfortable honestly making predictions with a lot of these matches because it's like, I mean, that's kind of a cop out, I know, but like honestly, look at these matchups and try to tell me that any of them are one sided. Like, like I can understand if somebody feels very confident that like, oh, I'm not going to bet against Quaz, but even then, the 5 seed he's playing against is Jim Philos.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily see that going the other way. I don't know. Like, predicting some of these matches, I can feel confident about the results and the outcomes. As far as like who do I think is going to win, regardless of how likely that's actually going to play out the way I predict. But this is genuinely a situation where not only are we talking about 2 teams that are very close as far as the player calibers, I think it's also worth mentioning that they have very similar PR makeups, where they've got their 1 and the 2 seeds are both in like the 550 territory, and it's like we don't normally see that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that really just, in my opinion, goes to show as far as like, even though PR isn't everything, it clearly goes to show just like from top to bottom, both of these teams are very stacked. And it just like, I'm so content with either of these teams winning. I don't know. If I had to bet, I'm going to go with my gut and say I'm going to give the slightest, and I mean like, I do mean the slightest of edges to Standard THL Degenerates, because I got to go with my boy Bomdi on this one as far as captains go. But again, I do love Donde too. It's like I don't really want to bet against either of them. Honestly, I want them.
Yeah, that is true.
If it were up to me, I'd have them both win. Honestly,
in a
both of these teams have played so well this season and have definitely been standouts in their own ways. But they've also like this whole season has been like defined by very close standings, very close matchups. You know, there wasn't really any team, I think, that looked like it was going to be a big standout as far as standing above all the rest, except for maybe Dad Legend, because of how much they were dominating the Red Conference, and even then, they didn't make the finals. You know, like they had a
same thing for Defias.
Right, they had great runs, but like it's not like we were saying last week. Oh, it's definitely going to be Defias versus Dad Legend. Like, no, we knew everything was still really close.
I even picked Defias.
Here we are.
I picked you, Jester.
Well, I mean, even if I had a guess, if I was on the show,
I also picked Jester.
I picked Defias. Anyways. We can wind this down. I think that I'll give the order of matches since I know them because they're in the Discord. Don't they posted them? So the first match. So the first 2 matches, Anfall and Corridon we're gonna play tonight, but they're playing tomorrow night. So that's gonna be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Anfall and Corridon and Coles and Mr. Python, and Coles and Mr. Python will be on Thursday Throwdown. And then at 10 p.m. Thursday we have Donde versus Electric Sheep City. So really, and then Jammies versus Automated Button is Friday at 9 p.m. as well as Jim Philos and Quaz being the last match Sunday at 9. So, I think if it comes down to Jim Philos versus Quaz, I think it's gonna go to Standard THL Degenerates. Overall, I know Jim's a great player, and they actually have classes in. Jim has brought Druid, Priest, Shaman, Warrior. Quaz has brought Druid, Hunter, Shaman, Warrior. So 1 class difference. Priest versus Hunter. So that's gonna be that's interesting.
We might be expecting a priest ban, in my opinion.
Oh well, yeah, priest ban. I didn't want. The reason I don't want to just be like Jim Philos is super favored because he brought priest is because I think priest is gonna get banned there. Yeah. But so yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when
just
making
means
predictions, I mean, most of this stuff is like 60-40, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this isn't like,
there's
oh, they're
no-
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, so most
there's-
of these are 50-50 in my opinion, so it's kind of hard to determine.
Yeah, really, like, it's crazy that the series where I've seen the most non 50-50, where it just, like, non 60-40, where it's actually, like, super lopsided is wild. And that's just because the top two teams are, that's just because, like, the top couple of teams are that dominant over the rest of the teams. They're, like, the point, and you can even see it in the point gap, like, that you have F12 and everyone's a winner, and like kind of everyone else is like points below them. None of them, they're the only two teams that reached 200 points this season in Wild. But anyways, I think I don't know, my gut's telling me that Zilfs is going to take this series. I don't know how, but I have a gut feeling that Donde's going to get his legacy title.
I mean, that's
This
part
time.
of the fun, isn't it? Like, we don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but it's going to be fun
Yeah,
to watch either way.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with my gut and go with Zilfs. I don't know how. I don't know exactly how, but I think they take it in the end. I won't obviously, any team that wins these series, they all work very hard to get here.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
Congrats on the teams who have made playoffs and finals. We're gonna transition now into our final part of our show. Matches portion is over. We're going into our interview with Mr. Jester. Geranium Battle, our interview master, has some questions for you. I have some of them because I've sent them, but yeah.
Go for it.
You just took them off, but I was just about to ask a question about them. Your outfit at the beginning of stream was all covered up with shades. Are you the next disguised toast?
Oh, dear God.
Well, I mean, that implied that I didn't reveal my face on the stream, but I mean, I wish I popped off, became Among Us 5,000 IQ god that he is today, but I don't think I'll be there anytime soon.
Can't tell if that's actual shade or not. That's being
No.
thrown right now.
Well, I mean, it's time. But he did. I think he did stop doing the Among Us video. I do respect him as a player and just what he's doing, but yeah, I don't know if I'll become that big or do anything like that, but who knows?
Yeah. As a jester, your work is, in a way, a joke. Is THL a joke to you?
Yeah. Next question. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
No.
No, it's good. It's good.
Really back.
No,
in all seriousness, you know, I mean, the main reason why I have the Elias Jester is, I mean, because I'm loyal and I make jokes and I'm a good friend. That's why. But not because I take everything as a joke. You know, a Jester knows when to not make fun of the king. Ha! How about that? Yeah, that was a good answer.
Hey,
Amazing.
But
a great answer.
in all seriousness, I do take THL very, like, I don't want to just say more than the average person, but I do take THL very seriously, especially when prepping. I mean, yeah, I do end up like JR in my bed, just on my phone doing prep for like an hour, but oh no, well, I'm saying I do that too. So, you know, but and in the matches, like, I do like have everything like ready to go, play as hard as I can. Like, I play at my best when I'm in THL, honestly. Yeah, better than when in ladder. So yeah, I do take it very seriously.
I think
I can agree.
I think the work shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in between your games of Battle Block Theater. Okay. You tore up the 3 seed, being one of the 4 players. Next question. We tore up the 3 seed, being one of the 4 players to reach 8 match wins in Legacy over the entire season. But since 2008 is so 2000 and late, when are you getting to 20 wins? 21 wins?
Okay.
2022.
What are these
I can't
guys?
deal with that right now.
Well, okay. First of all, going back to the Battle Block Theater, that's my little sister. I'm a nice brother, and I let her play on my Xbox. We're a nice guy. Can we all get a round of yeah? There you go.
Man, good for you.
No, you never see me catching those kind of kid games. But anyways, no.
That's a
Wow.
Solid
but
game,
going
though.
back to the going back to the question, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, I'll repeat the question.
Yeah.
You tore up the 3 seed, being one of the 4 players to reach 8 match wins in Legacy. But since 2008 is so 2000 and late, when are you getting to 21 match wins? 2022 match wins?
I mean, in terms of, well, I'll just talk about my PR, going for wins and everything like that. I mean, the last season I started in 4 seed on a great team, by the way.
Yeah.
And then did well at 3 seed, did well. I'm going for the 2 seed, or that's the team I'm trying to be on. I'm obviously my goal in THL is each season I'm on a different team, just so I meet new people, new captains, get to know everybody in the THL.
That's a great way to go
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
But the goal is to be in the 2 seed and get enough PR to be a 550 and be in the 1, and
Heck
go on
yeah.
from there. That's the goal.
So in other words, the opposite goal of what these two wanted to do.
Yeah, or the opposite goal of me and pro, because
Oh.
I went 2-6 or something.
Yeah. Pro tough.
In fairness, I've said this before. I stopped playing in pro because I couldn't. I had 2 consecutive seasons of finishing like 3 and 8. It was just so hard, and it was just like I couldn't deal with it anymore. Honestly.
I mean, I'm going for it next season. I'm doing Legacy and pro. That in pro I perform as well as I am in Legacy, and Legacy I keep up the momentum.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Very great, respectable answer for a very terrible question.
Sure,
Okay.
bro, get this guy.
Final-
No, I'm kidding.
Final
my
question.
God.
Okay. When are you teaming up with JR Juggerlaw to become a court jester?
Somehow I should have expected that was going to be a question. And
That's a good one.
Well, I have no affiliation with the law. Or no, well, okay, wait. Let me not say that.
Wait a second.
I follow the law, but I do not. There's a lot of reading and rules that you have to. It's so much little things. I respect anyone who does law. Like, it is absurd how much amount of information that you have to keep in your head. I am a chemist, so I study little molecules all day instead of,
Oh dear.
reading. But in terms of being a court jester, yeah, sure. But in terms of actually enforcing the law, not so much.
Oh dear God. Oof. I mean, that's
I
fair.
I'm also a chemist. We'll have to talk more about that later.
Fellow geniuses in the.
That's all the questions I had
call.
prepped.
Oh my
Nice.
God, y'all.
All right.
You're crazy.
I mean, I really enjoyed this episode of Tavern Talk.
This is fun.
I did too. It was fun.
So yeah, obviously thanks for coming on. I'm gonna quickly I have Thursday and Friday matches. I don't quite know about Saturday. I'm still looking for Saturday matches, people. If anybody's playing Saturday night for any of the series, hit me up in the Discord DMs, and I will be able to direct and hopefully we can get you on stream for Saturday. But Thursday night throwdown tomorrow night. We're leading off at 9 p.m. Eastern with Legacy Finals match, Coles versus Mr. Python. At 10 p.m. following that, we are going to have Hero quarterfinals, the Big Ted versus Starlax. So that'll be that 2-seat battle, highly anticipated. Casters should be Nice Jewish Owl and Heat Shock for that. And then Friday night fights, we have Pro Series Finals. We've got Ufric versus GM McBannerface. And then 9 p.m. Eastern Hero quarterfinals, Anfall versus Risen. So got 2 matches from Dad Legend versus Wherever I May Roam on stream on tap. I'm not 100% sure who's casting Friday yet. I believe there's a couple of people. I believe that Corridon and Tuna are unable to, so we'll get some casters for that. But yeah, if you want to play, I'm sure they would be open to a 10 p.m. match on Friday. So if you want to do that, if you want to have your match streamed at all this weekend, contact Saku, contact myself. Lotus Knight's currently away, so just contact myself or Saku and we can get your match on at some point this week. So yeah, that's the matches we got lined up. Very exciting stuff.
Dude, I heard about Coles versus Mr. Python that was going to be on Thursday. I was like, there's no way that anything on Friday would match that. And you got Ulfric versus McBannerface on Friday. This is going to be like the best week for
I have been informed
God.
that the 8 p.m. Friday match is now Jammies versus Button, so it'll be the legacy match.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought it got changed, so it did. Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be Anfall. So it won't be Anfall and Risen. Although good luck to both of you in that match. That's gonna be a banger, and I would have loved to have seen it on stream. But now we're gonna have Automated Button versus Jammies. That'll be the 2-seeded match for Legacy Finals. So we're gonna hopefully get as many of these Legacy Finals matches on stream as possible. I guess I'll ask. I'll probably try and get that Saturday match on. I believe there's a Saturday 9 p.m. match that I'll be able to get hopefully on stream. There's a good wild match Saturday at 8 p.m. Nice. Maybe if I can get some wild casters for that, we can stream it. So yeah, contact me after the match pace if you want to play your match, and I'll see if I can get some casters.
Do it.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Tavern Talk. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And we will be back next week with the Legacy Finals champions, and we'll be going over semifinals for the other two series. As always, have a fantastic rest of your evening. Stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow night. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
All right.